Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
And today we're covering the first few episodes of the anime DanDaDan.
Yes, this anime recently premiered on Netflix and it has a new episode every week. With an already strong fan base from readers of the manga, let's find out how well does the anime hold up so far.
But before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and occasionally some future podcasts and wanna pause videos.
Thank you for joining us, subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting, and so much more. We appreciate you more than you know.
Yeah.
DanDaDan. The more I watch it, the more I love it.
Yes. And don't know how many episodes that the season's supposed to have, because all they pretty much tell you is like, for some regions, they tell you when the next episode's coming out in the following week, so you know when to look for it. I think it's like every Thursday.
Yeah.
I think every Thursday there's a new episode.
And so far there's 7.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you not familiar with DanDaDan, like we were, it can be shown all together or separated. And it's a manga series written and illustrated by Yokonobu Tatsu.
Mm-hmm.
It was serialized in Shueisha Shonen Jump for a while, since April 2021. And the manga itself has 17 volumes.
Alright.
It's a genre of action, rom-com, and supernatural thriller, and it meets all of those genres perfectly, blending them in something that is fun and exciting and totally unexpected.
Yes. And we weren't sure about it in the beginning because we had never heard of this anime or manga. But much like Delicious and Dungeon, there were people who really loved the manga and were excited to see an anime after being out for so long. And when it launched, we were a little taken back by how the first couple episodes started out. Not only were they really surreal, they really were pushing the envelope on their radar jokes and everything. But, as you said, the more it goes on, the more it finds its footing, the more you get used to these crazy A characters and how crazy it is. And you end up really enjoying all of the comedy and pretty much the jabs at the sci-fi and supernatural elements they do.
And liking the two main characters more and more. The story follows the two main characters, Momo Ayase and Ken Takakura, who meet in an unlikely manner, and they end up helping each other. The rest of the story follows them as they team up with other students, families, and friends to fight spirits and aliens. So it's an animated, offbeat, to me, supernatural.
Right.
So Momo Ayase is, at first she's a little gruff when you see her appear.
She reminds you of Nobara a little bit.
Yes. A crush on an actor called Ken Takakura. And then she learns that this guy's name is Ken Takakura. So she refuses to call him by his real name because he doesn't look anything like the actor. And she doesn't want to acknowledge that's his name, so she calls him Okaru. And then Takakura, we're going to call him Okaru from here out. He's shy and nerdy and friendless.
Like constantly friendless.
Yes. And he's learning to grow more and more slowly, though. And you can tell by the third episode that they're going to end up as a ship. And you're happy they're going to end up as a ship. And more happens where they're getting closer and beginning to want to see each other more. And to me, it kind of reminds me of Kashima and Hori later on, when Kashima was told not to talk to him for a week.
Right.
And for some role.
Yeah.
And she couldn't last 5 days.
Yes, it's exactly what it was like, because that was actually one of their recent episodes with that, when they thought that they would go their sort of separate ways. Now they got rid of the Turbo Granny, which we're going to get to. Right. And they were getting to actually shut down the things about the aliens and stuff, because now they know. She believed in spirits, and then Okun believed in aliens. And what's funny, usually they say, like, oh, one's proven right, one's proven wrong. Well, in this instance, both were right. Both exist, and they both are out to get humans. And when they think, oh, okay, they can still be friends afterwards, and it was all over and stuff. And like you said, it was hilarious, because then they were separated. I can think about, when's the next time can they talk to each other?
Yes. Now, I'm going to give you a warning on the first episode. If you are under 18, it's kind of graphic. in terms
Yeah.
of a lot of fan service, because the first episode, Momo's abducted by a group of aliens who accidentally unblock her chakras, unleashing her powers, but she's in her underwear, and there's lots of B&A or TNA scenes and things like that. So we just want to let you know.
Yeah, so you're not shell-shocked when it comes on.
Right. And then another character who's really popular, speaking of TNA and popularity, is the grandma, Psycho Ayase. I think it's hilarious when these characters are really offbeat. They keep naming them Psycho.
Yeah.
Spelled S-C-I-K-O, but pronounced Psycho.
Yeah.
And she is Momo's grandma, who's a spirit medium, and she lives with her. And she looks like she's in her 20s. And when this anime first came out, Psycho Grandma blew up the internet.
Yes.
There was fan art everywhere. There were guys that were younger going, I would marry her in her heartbeat. Yes, I would date Granny. And it's hilarious because some people pointed out she's similar to her character from Naruto, which we haven't seen.
Right.
But she's offbeat. Yes, she's dressed seductively, but not in the case where she's trying to be sexy. She's just dresses weird. She's got on shorts from the 70s or 80s. I think it's like late 70s. And she has on thigh-high stockings. She's got a corset on. And she has on a sweater. She chain smokes. She's got a cigarette in her mouth all the time.
Yes,
she wears granny glasses. She's got a beehive hairdo. But she looks really, really young.
Yes. And what was funny is that Momo grew up with her telling her to do these different little rituals, have these papers and things around to keep spirits away. And she didn't believe her for all this time. She just did it to make her happy. And then what was hilarious is that when the day she finally stopped and said, I'm sick of this, I don't do anymore, I look like a weirdo. The minute she stops, they come in and start attacking. So they were just sitting and waiting for her to stop doing it. So it's like, I'm sorry, you were right.
But yes, she's the one who's helping Okarun and Momo with Turbo Granny. Turbo Granny is a major character, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh.
Turbo Granny's a yokai who takes the form of a cruel, foul-mouthed, vulgar elderly woman until her spirit is put inside a Maneki Neko doll.
Yeah, those little cats,
Yes, and she agrees to aid Okarun and Momo in finding Okarun's testicles. We're not kidding.
Yes,
in exchange for receiving her powers back.
And yes, that is an entire running joke when they're in the form of gold balls.
One gold ball.
One gold ball. And when someone has it, they keep making jokes. But when people hold it or feel around it or put on someone's face, yes, they're constantly making jokes without saying anything. So it's a little more subtle radar.
So what makes this anime so worth watching? In the first 3 episodes, it's very high energy. And it's all just supernatural. But then it calms down and they're in school. Because they thought they got rid of Turbo Granny. But Psycho told them, with those types, you have to be sure. Because their power comes from the main yokai that are in the area. They thought they had gotten rid of her. They hadn't. And as you said, then they find out that she's in the cat. And he goes to the bathroom one day and realizes he has no testicles. And so this cat really thinks it's funny. Now here's the last interesting thing before we get to the VA. Okarun still has the powers of the Turbo Granny. He didn't know it. And he changes to this alternate form that has taken over the internet as well.
And everyone really loves it because he's the complete opposite personality of how he is now. Like, you see him being really meek and scared and frantic and stuff. And this one's depressed a lot, but he's cool sounding. He's got a deep voice, that he's bored, I don't want to do this. But he's got a form that I already knew as soon as they had it, they're going to love this form because he's not a loser in this form. And sure enough, within a few episodes, people have been drawing him like that, like he's a Pokemon.
And he's got that ability because we forgot to mention Turbo Granny in the first episode possessed him for the first 3 episodes. When she left, he still ended up with the ability to enter a powerful demonic state, as I would call it, granting him immense speed. But the way he's drawn ends up looking cool. It's kind of like, I don't know how, the top kind of looks like bad, heightened, extreme. And the bottom looks like the Ken Kaneki mask from
Tokyo Ghoul.
And sometimes he has the mask on, and sometimes he doesn't. And when he doesn't, He's real attractive, looking like a really attractive, high intense Vash.
Yeah.
And no, he's not tall. He's still short.
Yeah, that feels funny.
And you can tell when he's with her that he's still shorter than her, even when he goes in that state. But people like the way he looks and the way he talks.
Right. So, yeah, that's two things they're drawn like crazy from this show.
You're getting the addition of other characters, students from the school who we met one in the last episode. And she is, we won't talk about her, she's just crazy. She thinks she is chosen by God. And she reminds me of a character from Ghost Story. And I think that's where they copied her.
Yes.
But
even
you have
the
to
pair.
learn more about her by watching her. We're not talking about her. She's crazy. The
Oh!
animation is great. The intro is so crazy and offbeat. At first, it's kind of distracting when you watch it because there's so much movement.
Yeah.
But the more I hear the music, the more I'm liking the intro.
Right.
So let's quickly get to the voice actors and then make your comment.
Yes.
For Momo, we've got Abby Trott, who is Nezuko from Demon Slayer.
Yes.
For Okaroon,
Talks a lot in here.
A.G. Beckles, who does the voice of the character from Dangers in My Heart, and another character.
So that's fitting.
Yes. Psycho is voiced by Carrie Walgren, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh.
Turbo Granny is Barbara Goodson. You also have Alex Lee as Jin in Joji, and he's one of the new characters we haven't met. Momo's childhood friend and her first crush. So we'll get to meet him probably within the next couple
great.
episodes.
We're already getting to that
I'm
part.
so glad Alex Lee's going to be in here. And the rest of the cast hasn't been cast yet. The rest of the VA cast hasn't been cast, but I'm sure you're going to get some more great people. The manga itself looks gorgeous when you look at the covers. Weird, but absolutely gorgeous. So if you haven't seen DanDaDan, we recommend you watch it. It's available on Netflix to stream. It's on Crunchyroll. If you've seen it or read the manga, let us know what you think in the comments. Did you love it at first sight, or did you have to get a little used to it like we did?
Yeah.
If you've read the manga, was it fire from the beginning, or again did you have to get used to it?
Right. And for me, you said my last comment, right? Okay, last comment is that up to the episodes we're on now, as of this recording, like you said, the new character coming in, that's when they kind of had the most laid-back episode up until the end. And what I think is absolutely hilarious what they said, like you said, with their friendship and then ship, is that Momo just kind of is like distraught that this guy has this name and he's not cool and everything. He's losing all this. She says all these things and she's like, there's no way she can like him, all that. And then when it gets to this episode when they're actually apart now, the first thing she always said the thing with the aliens is weird and she don't like it because she's into ghosts and all that. And his first thing was so funny. He said, "What's up, Dorkun, about aliens?"
Yes.
He said, "Okay, I guess it means you do like him."
Yes, and we love it. We support this ship. We approve of this ship. We can't wait for it to become canon, probably like in the manga.
So, if you haven't already, subscribe for updates, weekly videos for anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And again, thank you so much for joining us for our podcast, sharing our videos, and so much more. As always,
You are special.
And we will do a final review after the first season is completed on Netflix.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. Mask Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
なえるぜ